I guess responding to emails, I think most of this is pretty self-explanatory, but just making sure you just CC the IPM if the client ever contacts you directly via email. I don't see that usually happening. Usually most clients are good about emailing or like posting in Basecamp, but usually they're pretty good with emailing the IPM too. But if that does happen, I would say definitely CC the IPM so that they can make sure that they have eyes, and that sometimes the IPM also, we try to forward emails into Basecamp. That way we have everything in one place, and then we continue the conversation there. And then for Google Chat, I mean, I feel like that's like the easiest way to get a hold of the IPM for any like quick questions or any like quick updates. That's always a good place. And then for calls, usually we do have weekly or bi-weekly status calls with clients. So we'll have the IPM there as well as the TIC join those. And usually the IPM runs those status calls, and the TIC is just kind of there to support in case the client has any questions about anything technical or anything related to troubleshooting. And then typically the IPM will also kind of go through any open tasks in Basecamp and see if the client has any questions there. And then, yeah, typically those calls last 30 minutes or even less, depending on how many topics the client wants to discuss and how many questions that they have. And then syncs and trackers. Usually the IPMs will schedule one-on-ones with each of the TICs. And again, we just kind of use that time to go through our projects. I typically go through anything that's an open item that might be assigned to the TIC just to kind of give them a heads up, because sometimes it's hard to see or track things that come through on Basecamp and know whether that's assigned to like our team or the client. And I know things are kind of changing as far as Basecamp goes. I know we're kind of moving to Jira, so I feel like that's going to look a little bit different. But yeah, for those one-on-ones with the IPMs, you can also obviously let us know if there's anything that you need us to sync with the client on, or if you're needing any follow-up from the client, we can also support you there. And then for trackers, I feel like right now I don't think there's a way to really track tasks or anything besides what we're using in Basecamp. But I also feel like this might change once we move to Jira. I know we're slowly moving our projects into there, so I feel like things might change and look a little bit different there versus like what we're doing today. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I guess, did anyone have any questions about anything that I covered? Or questions about anything else related to working with your IPM?
I would say in Brazil, we are not sure how exactly the team are gonna work together.
Mm-hmm.
We are probably gonna be the same people for implementing and for managing the project after implementation.
Okay.
And we won't be using Basecamp, so probably we will start some project at Jira. I don't know if we should start it, or is there any project already that we can just join? How it is going to work for us? If you know.
Yeah, that would be a question for Harry, I think, because he kind of knows, I guess, what changes will be need to made and kind of coordinating from there. I just know that we're kind of moving our projects into Jira, but I don't know how that's going to impact everybody else. At least not yet.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks.
Okay. Awesome. Anything else from anyone?
Not for me.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye.